We're live. Hey everybody, Josh Brown here, managing editor with Fisher's Magazine. We're hanging out today at Vardagen with owner Jared Ingold. Jared, thanks for taking some time to hang out with us.
Oh yeah, of course. Thanks for coming.
So we just stopped by, we're just talking with Jared and hanging out. We've got a story coming out soon on Vardagen. Most of you probably should by now, would think, know what Vardagen is, the clothing store in Fisher's, and then of course there's a coffee shop in here too. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Jared, just tell us a little bit, how did this idea come about for you? How did this concept start for you?
Sure. So started designing and printing in my garage with my brother-in-law and a friend years back, and just did some fun stuff with that, and kind of grew as a brand from doing that. And then in 2012, I kind of found this storefront I drove past all the time. It was always empty, and I really loved the old building, and it became available. So ended up making a deal on the space and building out the space to kind of house the brand. So it was the first time we got to see kind of all the designs and the brand kind of come to life in like a physical space.
Yeah. Could you have ever dreamed that Vardagen would be what it is today when you started?
I mean, not really, because it wasn't like, oh, this is a dream of mine to do this. It was just kind of like,
for fun.
Yeah, it's like something that we just started doing, and the more I did it, the more I liked it, and I kind of dropped other things that I had going on just because I just wanted to keep focusing on it. And so it just kind of built over time, but it wasn't like, I don't know, that from the beginning I was like, this is what I want to do. You know, it just became what I do.
Just became a passion that kind of took over for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, talk to us a little bit about the coffee side of things. Because obviously, you know, when you walk in here, you see the clothes and everything, but right to your left when you walk in, you've got Sure Shot Coffee and the coffee shop side of things, which is sold at the Fisher's Farmers Market. It's pretty popular around here and pretty unique for a clothing store to have a coffee shop inside of. So just tell us a little bit how you came up with that concept and why you kind of wanted to jump in the coffee game too.
Well, coffee's always been a passion of mine as well, and I think I was inspired by several stores in New York City when I was spending some time there. They had retail and coffee together, and I just really liked that. It brings the community together a little more. It lets people kind of be a part of what you're doing more. Before we had coffee in this space, we would have people pop in, you know, a couple days after they had just been here, and they're like, what's new? And we're like, you know, we don't put something out every few days or anything like that. Right. So it's kind of makes it hard to build relationships that way. And so the coffee aspect kind of changes that, where people could be in here daily and interact with the brand and with what we're working on. So it kind of just opens up that whole path.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it becomes more of just a retail space too. The people are coming in the shop. It can kind of be more of a social gathering, right?
Yeah.
So as I walked in today, people were in here hanging out. There's tables to kind of sit at and
for
chill.
Sure. Yeah. And then on the coffee side too, just like to, you know, I wanted to kind of do this earlier when we opened and Hearthstone was here and they were a local coffee shop. And so after they left, I kind of still felt that void that there's no local coffee in Fisher's. And so it was kind of like, I just felt like I would step up and try to make that happen. So it's kind of the combination of those things that kind of led me to make that happen, I guess. Yeah.
Well, talk a little bit for you what it means. I mean, obviously, you know, the brand's kind of had some national recognition too. I believe, I think maybe a Starbucks commercial I've heard of. People were wearing Vardagen apparel. Hot Topic sometimes I've seen stuff with your guys there. So talk a little bit about the national recognition you've seen from the brand and maybe what that means to you from where it started to what it is today.
Yeah, I think we played around with a lot of things. It's kind of been, maybe it's because we didn't start with like a particular dream. It's more just kind of like what we put out creatively and less about like a specific thing that we're trying to accomplish. I think we've learned a lot through the years on a national level with, you know, addressing those. It's, you know, it's flattering that big box stores would want our brand and stuff, but it's also at the same time, after kind of working on some of that stuff, we just felt like we were too early on that, and like it's not really, it takes away from the brand a little bit because we really, like, I think one of the things that I was enticed by was just building a graphic tee brand that was very specialty. And I think as soon as we get into too many other stores and things like that, that it kind of loses that edge. And so we've kind of resisted that a lot, which, it's hard to build a brand without doing that, but it's, again, it goes back to the reason why we're doing this is more as, to make something that's special and creative and something that people can appreciate, but obviously it's always great to get, some of that attention and stuff too,
We'll talk a little bit too for people who don't know kind of the process you guys go through, because obviously I know, you guys draw all the designs. You come up really with everything. Not much is outsourced probably. So So give people a little bit of background, maybe behind the scenes through the design process and when you're coming out with new apparel.
Yeah, so a lot of it reflects kind of things that we're going through or things that we're into or just discussions that we have internally. Daniel has been our artist for about probably 8 to 10 years. So he probably came on board, I think I was into the brand maybe 2 years or something like that. And then he started just on the screen printing side and then slowly took over the design work, and now he's doing all of it. And he's just a phenomenal artist. And so we... things will happen, and we kind of play off of ideas, and then he comes up with these amazing illustrations, and and then the other thing with that is that we are vertically integrated, so we do from start to finish the whole process. So like we will be able to do projects that other companies can't do just because we're so fast and flexible and so small. And that's one of the reasons why we've resisted some of those things too, is we love having a small team where we're just kind of communicate a certain way to each other and be able to produce things that if we got bigger, we probably couldn't do, Right. And so, some events or things will happen and we'll be talking about it and it'll inspire an idea, and it could be something from the very same day, and we'll have a design and a print of it already. And then we'll do a photo shoot and we just do the whole thing all in 24 hours,
right.
So I think that is exciting for us. We love seeing like something that wasn't become something that is, and just see that whole process come to life,
Well, it's got to be pretty rewarding too at the end of the day with that, the team that you have to kind of see it
work
out that way.
And there's different points where it's just so fun for us because, we've got the initial sketch, which is one thing. Then you have a final design, which is exciting. Then we see it for the first time printed, which the designs always look cooler once they're printed. And so and we hand mix all of our own ink colors and do all that kind of creative work in our print shop. And so, so that's another thing. So, and then we get to see the first, shirt finished, and then we get to see it on someone in photographs. And so I think each of those stages are kind of like an element where we're just really enjoying the process and seeing something coming to life, Right.
I saw somebody just asked on our Facebook Live feed if we'd be showing any products. Probably not going to grab any products, but you might probably be able to sell. I think Jared's got a shirt on right now, so you can.
It says "Working ourselves to death."
It's got a skeleton guy in a graveyard kind of thing, or no, he looks like he's in a field.
Yeah, he's plowing.
That's great. So you can kind of see it, and obviously, stop in and visit them and check out some of the apparel.
I'll show you guys a couple new ones that we've got.
Okay, cool. So we'll grab some products and maybe show you guys a couple of different ideas.
This one's going to be online soon.
Okay.
It's anglerfish. It's
nice. It looks great.
Yeah. So this one is going to be out. It's in our store now, but it'll be online soon.
Yeah.
And then that Plants Are Hard one too. Yep.
Some summer apparel.
We inevitably kill all the plants that we buy for the store. So this is kind of this is called Plants Are Hard. Nice. So anyone that's tried to have awesome plants and you just end up killing them,
We've all been there.
Yeah, so, but anyway, we got some really cool stuff coming out really soon. We're going to be doing some really big sales soon.
Okay.
Just, we realize we've got a lot more designs in our stores and available than we should have. So we're going to try to sell off some of the last bits of some of the designs so we can make room for some new stuff, because we got a lot of cool new stuff coming out.
Awesome. Well, on the exciting news front, maybe to kind of wrap things up, we were chatting a little bit before this, but obviously you've expanded a little bit lately into LA, to Los Angeles, which is pretty exciting. I believe last year you kind of did a pop-up store that you thought might just go through the end of the year, and it kind of took off a little bit. So give us an update on where you are with that. And obviously I know that store is still open this year in LA.
Right.
So Talk a little bit about how that idea came about and
Sure.
maybe how surprised you were.
Yeah, so in the summer of 2016, I was in LA for a trade show, and I walked down the street. It's called Abbott Kinney Boulevard. It's a famous shopping destination. And I was like, we have to put a store here just to try it, to see what it would do. And I've kind of been, for the last little while, just very curious what Vardagen could do in other places, if it has more of a widespread appeal. I mean, we've had some of our designs sell worldwide in different points of our history. And so I kind of wanted to see and Abbott Kinney is such an international destination. And so I thought it was a good test spot for us. And so in summer of 2017, I found a spot that was available for just 1 month, which I thought was great, just to go in, do 1 month, get back out of there, but just at least kind of get some data from that.
Yeah.
And it worked out where after the first month, we had done a lot better than we expected. We were kind of anticipating to take a loss because it's so expensive to get out there and everything. But we ended up making a profit on that first month, which was pretty remarkable. And then they had something else lined up, but then they're like, hey, if you guys want to stay longer, you can take it for another month. So we extended another month, and then we ended up taking over the rest of their lease, which ends at the end of this year. So went from 30 days to a year and a half, which is pretty crazy.
Quick.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So, but just the response there has been so encouraging. People are just like, we spent nothing on marketing, so it's just literally foot traffic and word of mouth, and and people just seem to really pick up on the brand really quickly, and it's exciting for us to know that things that we've been working on here has appeal other places.
Right.
I think in the first 3 weeks, I kept track of different countries we were selling to. We sold to 36 different countries in that store in the first 3 weeks.
Wow.
So that's how international it is there. Yeah. So
that's incredible.
yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Well, obviously I know you were there last week. You're kind of managing that store as well. Mm-hmm. What's the future? Do you guys see yourself maybe expanding more? Will there be maybe a brick and mortar store like you've got here in LA one day? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we think that's a good spot for us to be putting energy into, but we really need to build our online a little more. Okay. So I think we're going to make steps to make sure that becomes a focus. I think we have more people reaching out to us that, just like some of these products we have in our stores now, there's kind of a delay from when it hits our stores to when they get online. And we want to kind of give our online customers kind of like priority too, and so that's kind of where our heads are at right now. And we're like, how do we scale up online? But we're trying to maintain a small team, and that's kind of a core value for us right now. So that's strategically where we're at, and we may do pop-ups here and there, but we're just kind of taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's about it, everybody. Yeah, thanks, Jared, again for joining us today and taking some time to chat. If you're around 116th and Fisher, stop by, grab some coffee, and say hey to Jared, and come check out some of the apparel. They're right next door to Nickel Plate Bar and Grill. So, come visit them sometime, and be on the lookout soon for this story at fishers.com. Thanks, everybody. See ya.